Okay, good morning. Here we are again. The third day of Adar. Greatest Torah. Amongst the many reasons it's great is because it brings healing to all living things. Who needs a healing?
Shmuel ben Devar Leah, Shmuel ben Merav, Hillel ben Hillel, Baruch Yehuda ben Yehudis Golda bas Elizahana, Haim Yaakov Zeb ben Sarah, Yosef Yitzhak ben Leor, Shoshana bas Hana, Gary Robertson of George, Yaakov Shaul ben Hana Miriam, Yehudit Gila bas Rachalea.
Refuah Shlema B'Korah. Tuvia ben Avraham. Yair ben Adela. Mordechai Yehuda ben Chaim. Yisrael ben Yamin ben Leah Gittel. Devorah Leah bas Rus Ahuva Liba. Rivka Mina bas Chaya Esther. Refuah Shlema. Any others? Okay. Hayom Yom. 3 Adar. Let's say, the Alter Rebbe said, the mitzvah of Ahavas Yisrael extends to anyone born into the people of Israel, even if you have never met the person, if you have never met it. How much more so does it extend to every member, man or woman, of the Jewish community where you live, who belong to your own community? So Ahavas Yisrael pertains even to yourself, of course. So we start with today's Tanya. When you see people sinning, don't be too hard on them, because you know what's going on with you, and it's also going on with them. We have a Yetzer Hara, we have a Yetzer Tov, and everybody has their own level of struggle. Chapter 30, page 392 in Lessons in Time. Everyone has their own pekel. So Perek Lamed. Oid Zois, in addition to this, what did he tell us recently, to which this is in addition? That the Sitra Achra, with all of its power, is an agent of Hashem, not doing anything but what Hashem commands, right? And the Sitra Achra only wants to serve Hashem, and that's why the Sitra Achra is doing what it's doing. But Hashem's inner will, of course, is that you should dominate over the Sitra Achra. So know that you have the power to do that. And in addition, in addition to this, Perek Lamed, chapter 30, Yosim El Liboy, put it upon your heart, the Kayim Maimer Rizal, to fulfill that which our sages have said. What have they said? Shafel ruach bifnei kol odom. Be low of spirit in front of anybody. Shfal ruach. This is hachno. This is holding yourself low, not false pride. But this is not erasing yourself and flattening yourself like a doormat without any energy. As one of my teachers said, he translates this, be small, but be strong. But don't be puffed up with yourself and think, who am I? And why is this happening to me? In front of every person, and this echoes from the other side, the negative side, what we spoke about just now about Ahavas Yisrael. In truth, in front of every person, mamish, you should be shafel ruach, hold yourself low. Afila bifnei kal shebekalim, even one who is very light in mitzvahs. You have your own path to walk. And don't look at someone else and say, they're much worse than I must be fine. No, judge them l'kav zchus, and ultimately yourself even judge l'kav zchus, and have love of yourself, because Ahavas Yisrael pertains to you. But you know yourself as well, that there is something else going on within you. and work with it. Work with it in the ways that we've been talking about so far and in the ways which we'll continue to talk about. But when you look at somebody else, I know Alpi Maimon Azal, you should look at someone else as the heart, as was spoken about in today's Hayom Yom, in the manner, Al Todin es Havercho ad sheyatagia l'makoima. Don't judge another person until you stand in their place. Then judge yourself. You know yourself. But don't judge another person until you stand in your place. And this is kind of, well, you never will stand in their place. So why are you judging them? But even if you are wanting to judge them, you should understand, the person's place is causing him to sin. Lies parnasose, for instance, a person whose whole livelihood takes that person out into the marketplace where everything is out there to be seen. He goes out into the marketplace, lelek bashuk, into the market, kol hayoim, each and every day. Lies meishve karnes, and he's there amongst those who are, and sitting, he's there in his store, waiting, or he's seeing people who are just out there all day in the marketplace. The ein of rois called tivos, and you see lots of stuff out there in the marketplace, which can pique the desire of the Yetzer Hara. As it says, "V'ha'ayin roya," it's a saying from Hazal, the eye sees, v'halev choimed. The eye sees and the heart desires. The yitzre bora ketanur, and the yetzer burns like an oven. Ba'oira ma'ufa, like the oven, like the burning oven of a baker. It says in Hosea, who bor ke'esh lahava. The person or the yetzer hora is burning like a burning flaming fire. Masha'en kain, on the other hand, misha helet b'shuch ma'at, a person who doesn't go out into the marketplace where all these attractions are there and diversions are there. He doesn't go out there so much. And most of the day he's in his house. And even if he does go out into the marketplace, all day, it could be that the person has a nature that is not going to get so inflamed by what he's seeing in the marketplace. Because not everybody's Yetzer Hara is the same. There are those whose Yetzer is like this and others like that. Now, coming back to yourself, in truth, if one is a person who has a nature that he or she is easily excited by the attractions, or we'll call them the distractions of the world, very excitable, b'tevoy by nature, and you're out there doing business, you're in the world doing something every day. So there should be, you should know there's no excuse. I mean, we've said that there are reasons why your nature can be that you're going to be easily excitable, but that's not an excuse for letting yourself off the hook and saying, hey, this is the way I am, let's keep going. No, you have a responsibility and a capability to deal with that, no matter how strong your desires may be, and no matter how often they may be aroused by external events. And a person has to be honest with himself and recognize the rishus, the negativity, the degree to which that person, oneself, is not aligned with Hashem's will, and is called at that time, according to Tanya, a Rasha Gomer, a complete evil person, to the extent that your heart is drawn there and your actions are inclined there, and you're not dealing with all the instructions we've had here, and we'll have more about how to deal with that burning fire. And he's called a Rasha for that which the fear of Hashem is not in front of him constantly. He's not. It says, place the fear of God. You have to do that. You have to put the fear of God. Fear of God again, meaning the arouse the desire not to be separated from Hashem. Recognize that these things are separating you from Hashem, and put in front of your eyes a picture of you not being separated from Hashem. Because it's your, as I said, responsibility and capability to wrestle, as we said, with this Yetzer Hara. And to rule and dominate and win the battle over the spirit of one's taiva shibaliva in one's heart. Hashem, as a result of the fear of God, arousing the fear of God, this states that I do not want to be separated from Hashem in any way. And as you see, I'm seeing my fist is automatically closing. This is a battle. I do not want to be this way. And we said earlier, you can yell this and scream this, and you can think about it in your head that you really do not want to, because you're succumbing to the Yetzer Hara, you're separating yourself from your essential you, from who you really are. So therefore, you should be in strong battle, wrestling with and dominating over the spirit of one's taiva, which is in one's heart, as a result of the fear of Hashem, the fear you have and the discomfort you have of being disconnected from Hashem. Who Hashem sees all of your deeds, as we said above. And the reason that you should be angry with yourself about this, because you have capability. You have a brain in which sits the Yetzer Tov, the Nefesh Elokis, which is designed to rule over the Nefesh Bahamis. That's the way you've been born. In truth, yes, it's a very big battle, a very strong battle. Lishvar ha-yetzer, to break the Yetzer, which is burning like a flaming fire, Hashem, and as a result of your, and it's a big battle that you bring to your fear of Hashem to the battle, your desire not to be separated. And it's like a test. The Hilchon, therefore, sort of called Odom Lefi Mashahu, it's incumbent upon every person, no matter who you are, no matter what your level is in your service of Hashem, b'avodas Hashem, to examine yourself, weigh yourself out, examine, look into yourself. Are you really serving Hashem in a way which is commensurate with this big battle this strong battle we've been speaking about, kazu, and in a way which is commensurate with the amount of strength that you need to muster in order to deal with this Yetzer Hara? To pour out your soul in front of Hashem, with all of your power mamish, even to the wringing out, the squeezing out of your soul. And are you doing the battle that you have been created to be, that you have capability to do? With your body and your animal soul, shaboy, which are preventing you, which are holding you back from having this strong intentionality. And are you pressing them? That is the body and the nefesh bahamis, pressing them, and cutting them. These are mashalim, pressing. It's interesting that we have this week's Parsha Tetzaveh. In order for the menorah to be illuminated, it says kosis lemor. You have to press the olive. You don't break the olive. You don't make little pieces of the olive. You don't break it, you press it until the light comes out. Are you exerting that kind of pressure on your Yetzirah? And dealing with it, levachim and nullifying it, cutting it. Here we use the word pressing, cutting it, to offer and pushing it down, to offer like the dirt. Kodim hatefila. And he says, kodim tefillah in general, that's the order of his boininess is before tefillah, to mizboinin about all these things and whatever else helps you, but certainly all the things that are in your hopefully growing list of things that you can think about and bring to mind. And the time to doing that is before tefillah, before you enter into the davening. Kodim tefillah. Tefillah's hot shachris for avris, morning and evening prayer. Mida yom b'yom, each and every day. Are you doing this? The gam b'shasa tefillah, and also in the time of davening, liyoga atzmi agias nefesh v'agias boser, to really work in the time of davening, to pay attention to the words that are there and to the meanings that you have in your ability to muster. When I say plural, there's the pshat that's on the page, and whatever else you bring to it in terms of your learning of Musar and your learning of Chassidus. Are you concentrating? So one is to meditate before, contemplate before davening, these things which we've said before, to get yourself into a space of manifestation of the strength that you have and the strength of the Nefesh Elokis, and then daven. And in davening, to pay attention to the words that you're saying with all of your strength, and pray as we've spoken about at length. As we will say at length. That's today's Tanya. Comments, questions? It may be difficult, but it's very simple. I mean, this recipe is simple. You know that you have a Yetzer Hara, but each and every one of us in our own way. You know that the Yetzer Hara really wants us to succeed. Remember, succeed like the mashal of the prostitute with the prince. Wants us to succeed. The inner will of the Yetzer Hara is that just like it's serving God, that you should serve God. But it's there for you to bring out a greater strength, the strength that you have that you have to muster when there's anything in opposition. And that greater strength is for you to muster and to bring forth in order to suppress, number one, achnoah, subjugate, and ultimately to transform the Yetzer Hara, that it shows who it really is, which itself is an agent of Kedusha. And these are all instructions, ideas for how you can achieve that. Yeah, Chef, who is that? You have your hand up.
Okay, that's me. That's
Oh,
Lisa.
that's you. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I know. You know, it's a. Oh, I didn't mean to turn my video on. Yikes! What did that happen? Okay. Let's see. So basically, this thing of yelling at yourself in your mind, that video that Sivia pointed out last time.
Well, but we also pointed out before that he says with a voice.
Okay, good, because otherwise, because in your mind, I tried that. I don't understand how anyone could do that inside their mind.
I want to read the words. Say, "V'gam yiroim aleha." You should be negative against the Yetzer Hara. B'kol rash v'roiges, with a great, big, and angry voice.
Okay, good.
Then later he says, "B'kol rash," with a great voice, and angry in your thought.
Yeah,
it certainly says with your voice.
Okay, I mean, and it also kind of conflicts with this idea that the more that you get angry, the more it fans the flame of anger. So it's a little confusing.
You're getting angry at your Yetzer Hara, and you're mustering with that anger musculature, a muscle of let's use the metaphor that he uses about the two wrestlers. If two wrestlers are of equal strength, The one who musters the anger the most is the one who's going to prevail. So
Right.
this anger is to get angry at the Yetzer Hara and utilize that anger to bring forth that greater, that little extra, no, could be a lot of extra ounce of power in order to subjugate it.
Right. But like in a Benoni, it's it's a very thin line between who you are, your animal soul and your Yitzhahara and your godly soul. They're kind of all one big conglomeration, right?
Well, they're both in the body, if that's what you mean. But
No, like in tzaddik, it's separate.
no, but we're
They're
not getting to tzaddik.
no, I know, but in us, it's like you're yelling at yourself. Really, it's not really like a separate part
You're
of.
yelling, let's hear yourself. Yes, the animal soul is the self. We said that before because it's the first thing, the shomash and asati bi, right? We say every morning, we use that as an example. The soul that you are given into me. So at that point, when you wake up in the morning, who's the me? It's the animal soul.
Right.
That's the animal waking up. However, as you begin to say moida ani, and you wash your hands, and you come and say birchas hashachar, you arouse the godly soul.
Mm.
And the godly soul is designed to be more powerful than the animal soul. It's designed like a man who rules a chariot. The animals are meant to do his will. And you have arousing, and you have every day the ability to arouse every day. What did we just say? Roiges yetzer toiv al yetzer hora, to giving the strength of anger. I don't want to be this way, which comes from the voice of the Nefesh Elokis, and that can be over and will be over if you utilize it and exercise it and engage properly with the Yetzer Hara. It will be used to subjugate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And it's a very important, shtei neshamas. A person has two neshamas. The first one that enters is the animal. That's the natural disposition. However, we're close behind it and growing strongly is the chelek elokam imal, the part of God above, and that bringing that to consciousness and letting that infuse literally your flues, your blood vessels, and your muscles will give you the ability, does give you the ability to subjugate, at least if not transform, subjugate the Yetzer Hara. That's something we probably, each of us have a struggle with probably every day, or maybe a good number of times during the day. But know that you're designed to win this battle. Okay, anybody else? So let's go to battle, each in our own day. Have a good day, everybody.